Let's get into the ABS. Is it good for the game or not? So we are a week into spring training and we have seen ABS challenges all over the place. And more often than not, the players are right. Um, how are you feeling about the ABS at this moment?
I go back and forth. There was the poor umpire, was it yesterday, that had, like, 5 straight calls challenged, he was wrong on every single one of them.
Yeah,
It was brutal for that poor guy. At the same time, there was a pitch, might have even been in that game, that was, like, literally down the middle, called a ball, that they did the ABS on it and got it fixed. Like, that's what it's there for.
right.
It's there for these egregious calls. I don't believe the regular season will go like this, where guys challenge so many pitches. But some of these pitches are, like, so ticky-tack. It's like the one you got on the screen where it's like a tenth of an inch off the plate.
Less than a
I
tenth of an
Yeah.
inch. It's crazy.
I don't want ABS for that. In my mind, if it's that close, it's a strike. Like, I'm not worried about it. I want it
No,
for the pitches that are down the middle, called a ball, the ball 6 inches off the plate, called a strike. I don't want these guys to use it to because it's an eyelash off. I just it's it's gonna be really frustrating to watch all these challenges all year for a ticky-tack stuff like this. Now, if the players continue to be right, great. But when you look at what these umpires do overall, as much as we criticize them, because there's definitely times that they have just some absolutely egregious calls. For the most part, they're pretty good.
yeah.
There's not a lot of real complaints other than, getting mad about these balls that are an eyelash off. I don't want to see this turn into a situation where these guys are challenging over and over and over again over little stuff. That was not the intent.
No, absolutely not. I think the biggest takeaway for me is the actual knowledge of the strike zone that these hitters have.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me has been the most impressive thing of watching this ABS so far is just like these hitters know that's not a strike, sir. Like, no, not even close. Um, but I think you're right. I think when the regular season rolls around, we're not going to see as many challenges unless they are the egregious ones. They're not going to be sitting there challenging every pitch, right? It is what it is. They're going to try to save them for late in the game moments, eighth inning, ninth inning, big spot in the game. Bases loaded, maybe in the fifth with two outs, and it's borderline. Then maybe you use it. But yeah, Curtis, I'm kind of with you. Like they're probably going to use it more for strategy reasons, right?
Yeah.
I think as the season rolls on. But yeah, I like it because we have had a balls and strikes issue the past few years. We've talked about it quite a bit. So I like that, but this one is just crazy. I mean, there's no need to challenge this one. This was a strike, dude. I mean, it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting, like, super nitpicky on the strike zone when we're challenging calls like that. But to your point, these guys know the zone. I mean, these batters, for the most part, know the zone. Juan Soto had a challenge of a game ago that was like less than a quarter inch off the plate, and he was right. And these guys know the zone so unbelievably well. But it's gonna be really freaking annoying if we're just getting challenge after challenge after challenge for stuff that is a hair off. That won't be good for the game.
No, because even though they only take what 5 to 7 seconds to get up, call the challenge, watch the jumbotron, like it's about a 7 second process. However, if you back that up with four more challenges after, now it's like a minute. It's just challenges, not even actual gameplay. So I don't know. It will be interesting to see how it translates to the regular season, but I think we'll see it cool off for sure. I mean, look what the other rule changes that baseball has put in. Like spring training was made like with a pitch clock with Max Scherzer, right? He played with that so much in spring training to try to either find a loophole, find something that he could use to work around it a little bit. That's all the players are kind of doing with ABS right now. They're
Yeah,
still trying to feel it out because I'd say half, maybe a little more than half, have never used it before.
right.
So this is their chance to really feel it out for themselves. So
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm glad that it's here. Like, I think it's an
same.
important thing to have. I just want to make sure that we don't end up in a spot where this thing just gets abused and these umpires are getting, beaten up over little stuff. Because in reality, go back and watch some games from the 90s. The strike zones were way more horrendous than they are today. These umpires are pretty incredible for what they're looking at
Yeah.
with what they do. But we'll see. I'm glad it's here. I think the game needed this as a safety net for the really bad calls.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes when it's like when the games matter.
Yeah, and I think the umpire that had the 5 in a row, he's like, "Man, if you think that was bad, I'm glad we didn't have this like 3 or 4 years ago." It was like something like that. Like he was playful with it, so which is good. But
Yeah, he was actually, and even during the game, like he was getting like jeers from the crowd, and he was cool with it. Like he kind of shrugged his shoulder and smiled, and
yeah,
put his mask back on, went back to work.
yeah,
In late September in a divisional game, like that's going to be tough. But
yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, and let's be honest, you're right. The umpires as a whole have been much better at calling the actual strike zone. But as we see the umpire report cards every game they come out, every umpire strike zone is different. So this is a
Yeah.
learning curve for them as well. Like, yes, some of them have used this before, whether they're in the minors, they umped spring training games last year. So some of them have a little bit of an idea of how it is. But every umpire is now forced to have the same exact strike zone versus when we had Traxel on, he loved the fact that every umpire had a different strike zone. So it does take that element away from baseball, but I'm with you. I think for the whole, this is good for the game.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's the right thing. They needed it.